Peace be upon you all. Peace. Today I want to make a video regarding Quran alone, Quran translations. Now there's about several Quran alone translations I'm gonna go over with. And yeah. Basically, you might ask, why is there a need for more translations? There's a lot of translations. The Quran alone translations differ because with the what's it called, Quran alone translations, you will have a less, what's a good word, a less Sunni influenced translation, right? So people will induce their hadiths into the Quran, so they can use a lot of parentheses with adding ideas to the verse that are not Quranic, or then they'll use a lot of footnotes with hadith on it, and they'll throw in hadith stuff into it, right? And it's not something you'd want, right? As someone who follows the Quran alone, you don't want to see Bukhari's name next to the verses of God. Relax. No one wants to deal with it. So, that's why Quran alone translations are there. And then sometimes it's just the translations of the words, right? So they will translate Raku as bowing, and it actually means bowing down, you're on the floor, bowing, right? Or then they'll use Qibla as direction of prayer, and it's actually a destination people gather in. Or then, 434, it will differ, where Edip is actually just leave, and even if you look at the other context of other verses, Edip does mean, a leave, an example. So God will say, you strike an example. Well, actually just means to leave an example. And actually, interestingly, one of the definitions of strike is that, not the main one, but it is actually that. So funnily, even the English word strike could make sense. But yeah, so these are little differences. So yeah, the first one I would like to go over is the one by Muhammad Assad. Alright, the Message of the Quran by Muhammad Assad. Now this one is probably the most Sunni influenced one. It's still he's Quran alone, but he's still he latches on to a lot of Sunni ideas. It's I don't know, I think he just mainly just sticked with what the main translations agree upon. He didn't really think about the words and the context the same way other translations do. But yeah, it's a good translation. You're not gonna find Bukhari footnotes everywhere. So yeah, I like this one. And by the way, if you think I'm gonna put RK or Edip Uskol's translation, you're mistaken. Because I'm sorry to say, but they're very deviant, and just taking two verses away from the Quran is just wow. And on top of that, then Sunnis, they pair us up with them, and then they think Quran alone is against two verses of the Quran. So you see how they're problematic. Archaic and Edip Uskal translation. It just makes us look bad. It makes me wonder if it was a planned operation against us. But whatever. We'll move on. All right, the Quranic complete revelation by Sam Gerrans. This translation's all right. Um, I don't know the way he translated some of the things. I don't agree with. It's not my cup of tea. Like duty as prayer, it just doesn't make sense. And then what's it called? Like atheists as kafir. Like come on, should be like rejectors. But yeah, it's alright. Then we have the Quran as it explains itself. This is a nice translation by Shabbir Ahmed. I do really like the translation, and I think it's funny how he doesn't translate the word statement. Like he just keeps it as hadith. So and then when you go to 45 verse 6, it's just like, in which hadith after this Quran will you believe? And it's like, you know, it's a me, cause you know it's just it's in your face, you know, and I like that. I think that's cool. But yeah, Shabbir Ahmed, he's Pakistani scholar, like from a long time ago. So I think this is like a very older translation. This and Muhammad Assad's translation, they're very old, and yeah, I think he's still alive. But yeah, good stuff. The Great Quran by Shu'aib Abdullah. This one's a nice one because it also has a transliteration, so you can it's good for studying to learn how to recite, and it also has an Arabic and an English. So I like this one. What's interesting is that, so for prayer you translate that as litany, I think. Yeah. But yeah, Shu'aib Abdullah, he's also on YouTube, and he's called a correctional officer. He's grown a lot lately, and I mean a lot. Like, honestly, if you look at any Quran alone channel, the fastest growing one right now, I think, is him. Uh, he's 5,300 subs. He's not like the most high subscription rate, obviously, but like for fastest growing, like he's very fast growing. So like in about a few months, he might even be like in above 10,000 maybe. But yeah, I like this one. Alright, now here's the Great Quran by the Monotheist group. I actually spoken with one of the people from this group. It's a group translation. He's very knowledgeable. He lives in Saudi Arabia, and his name is Laleh, I think. Yeah, so he's really cool, and I like this translation. Prayer is a nice translated word. They use for salat, connection. Um, it's kind of vague, but it also makes sense, right? So, but it is still good. It gets the job done. But sometimes you have to know that before even reading it. So like whenever you hear connection, it's like, oh right, yeah, you know, because you know you're connecting with your Lord. I think that makes sense. So yeah, I like this translation. It's really nice. I would say the Shu'aib in this translation are probably the best. And then I think honestly the order was like maybe worst to best. Like maybe like of just like me talking about each of these. But yeah, I like these translations. I think they're good. But that's it for the video. Inshallah, I see you guys soon. I have a lot of great ideas. It's just I have a lot of you know, training to do as well. stuck with my own knowledge. I always have to gain more knowledge, so the quality of the videos are better. But yeah, inshallah, I'll see you guys soon. Salamun alaikum.